Good day. A very warm welcome to you joining us for this meditation experience. And today we're going to look at what I find is a fascinating balance. The balance between being very firm and disciplined and clear and honest with the self, but also being very loving and gentle and peaceful and understanding with the self. They're both critical, essential. You really can't get around it. If you're interested in self-transformation, you're going to need that balance of love and law. And I know for me, myself, coming from a movement background, ballet and then fitness, this balance is sort of something that you sort of learn to master if you want to continue. Definitely in ballet class, really the only time the teacher is going to talk to you is to give a correction. Very, very rare that you're going to get a compliment. Very rare. Almost always, and it's nonstop correction, correction, correction. Many are afraid of a love-hate relationship with the ballet master. Always correction. That's actually their job, is to figure out how to make you better. So this correction becomes a language of love, that they are indicating, yes, I think there's something valuable there. Yes, I'm giving attention to you. So if they don't say anything to us, then we're concerned. But they're really, and we know internally, I was very lucky because I knew the ballet teacher outside of ballet class. So I knew what a sweet, loving being this was, and I understood what they were doing in the classroom, that their purpose is to help me to grow and improve. And this is going to require drawing out the best of me, constantly drawing out the best, helping me to understand what I need to change in order to honor what is best to myself. So that balance was very, very deep. And of course, it continued with fitness, with boot camp that year, very strict, very strong, very firm, kind of crazy making. But behind it all is, again, that vision of benevolence, that there's a lot of respect and value for those that you are training. So I need to figure that out for myself. The foundation is always the same: deep regard, deep regard. So I'm not correcting or being honest because I'm trying to shame or guilt or react. It's actually the language, part of the language of love. We're used to the language of love being, I love you, or here's some chocolate. But this also is the language of love. Can you see if you can do this in order to benefit the self, to move forward, to honor the potential within the self, or basic care of the self? So moms have to, teach us how to brush the teeth and tie the shoelaces. And before we start, my favorite story is a recent one. I love this story. I was talking to a mom, very wealthy family, but the parents came, she herself and her husband, very, very humble beginnings. They had to work hard to reach that state in their life. And they have two boys, and the boys get to enjoy all the benefits of a very, very comfortable, affluent lifestyle. They can go to any school they want. But I was talking to the mom because the younger one's still at home, and they want them to know how to be self-sufficient, how to stand on their own feet. So he was struggling a bit in one of his school courses. So she got a tutor, and he has to work hard with this tutor, and she knows he's enjoying it because he's getting that faith that he actually can understand. And so I'm listening to her, and she sounds really intense. And she finally says to me, you know what? I'm their mom. I'm not their friend. I'm their mom. My job is to get them on their own 2 feet and out of that house. So our job for ourselves, we're happiest when we operate at full potential. So let's go inside and explore that delicate balance, firm and loving. And it starts with how we seat the body. I want the body to be relaxed, sitting without tension. But for the sake of the body, I also want to be in alignment, pain-free. So that balance of engaged, alert, good posture, if you will, alignment, but no tension, no pain. I check that with the body out of love for this body. I check its alignment, whatever that means to me at this time, however I understand, with this feeling of love to avoid pain. It might mean arranging cushions, but the body well seated in a royal way, but not in a tense way. And I focus on the breath of the body, ensuring that the body is breathing in a healthy way. A breath in, and then that slow release of air from the lungs, completely letting go of what the body no longer needs. Another breath in, and again that slow release of air. Having taken care of the body, I shift the focus upwards to that place behind the forehead where I, the living being in this body, is seated in the control room of this body. I look out through the windows of the eyes, and I listen through the ears. I am seated here in my inner world, and it's in fact the state of my inner world that determines how I operate in the outer world. Whatever I want in that outer world, it needs to first be happening inside. I want an outer world that is peaceful, but orderly, not chaotic, but still very peaceful, very loving, very sweet, but orderly, lawful, if you will, everything doing as it rightfully should. I look inside at the state of my inner world. Is it both peaceful and orderly? In truth, it's often cluttered and chaotic, which undermines both the peace and the order. The first thing I need to do is ensure I am seated on the seat of mastery, peacefully seated in a state of self-mastery, remembering I am a soul, a very elevated being. My true nature is peace. And I have the soft power within the self to sustain and protect and nurture my true nature. This is the real meaning of saying I'm a child of God, a child of such a majestic being, very graceful, very royal, but also the power, the quiet inner strength and stillness to sustain that state. I feel both states within myself, seated on the seat of self-mastery. I feel this stage of loving, compassionate, peaceful, mature. And behind that, as if the spine of that stage, I feel quiet, gentle, soft power, resilience, a light, but very deep, both existing at the same time, powerful and loving. Just the way I'm holding this body. Very fluid, but strong at the core. I, the being inside, also very accommodating, very peaceful, very understanding, but with a spine, a spiritual spine that's very strong, able to remain upright, sustain the peace in my inner world. Om Shanti.